Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today I want to look at VR versus triples and try to get a sense of, for me, which is faster. In the last 2 weeks or so, I tried a Quest 2 from a buddy of mine, and unfortunately I loved it so much I had to go out and buy my own headset, so I picked up a Reverb G2 and have effectively abandoned my triples, which is something that I never thought I would do. I was always nervous to try VR because I thought it would be something that I would enjoy and that it would force me to basically do something in my sim racing space, and that has certainly been the case. So for the last 2 weeks or so, I've been living in VR land. Really haven't gone back and forth between triples and VR until tonight. So I wanted to do as good of a scientific experiment to get a sense of which of the two is faster, to make it as fair as possible. Obviously, we have the same settings between two sessions. You know, what's on screen right now is exactly what I jumped into. Use Long Beach as that's where the F4 car is this week, and I have quite a bit of time with it this week as well. Because I've been in VR so much the last 2 weeks, I did set up the triples and I did run quite a few laps before actually running the 5 laps. So what I did was I loaded into a test session with these exact settings. I ran 5 laps and then I jumped into VR, didn't give myself the opportunity to kind of get back up to speed. And that is a dramatic difference if you're bouncing between the two. I found that to be jarring, actually, to bounce between the two pretty quickly. Didn't really give myself the chance to get back up to speed in VR, and I felt like that was kind of only fair given I've been in VR for the last 2 weeks. So again, ran 5 laps, really tried to focus, make a couple mistakes along the way. I left those in there. At the end of the day, I'm not a machine, I'm not perfect, I'm going to make mistakes, and I think that's kind of part of the process. So left those in. We're going to look at the averages of the 5 laps. We're going to look at the fastest lap, and I think it's really interesting too to kind of look at the progression between laps, right? Consistency is massive. You can be super fast, but if you can't put those laps together, you know, what are you really doing? So love to hear your feedback. Really curious what you guys think when you see these results. I was actually pretty surprised, and in some ways I wasn't, but we'll talk about that once we get to the conclusions. So let's check out these laps.
You've just done a 119.8. last lap time was a 119.8. Sector 3 time is fast. Sector 2 time is okay. You've just done a 119.0. Sector 3 time is fast. 1 gallon remaining. Sector 1 time is good. Sector 2 is 0.4, slower than your best. You've just done a 119.6. Sector 3 is 0.2 off your best. Your lap time was 119.4. 19.2. Sector 3 times okay. Sector 1 times okay. Sector 2 is 0.4, slower than your best. Remaining. That was at 119.1. Sector 1 is quick. Sector 2 times okay. That was at 119.0. Sector 1 time is good. Sector 2 time is good. That was at 118.8. Sector 3 time is fast.
Yeah, that felt good. I think I can tell immediately, just way more consistent. So now that we've run our laps, now we can kind of come back in and take a look at our averages. So on the left, I've got the 5 laps at Long Beach on the monitors with the triples. If you look at the right side, showing the VR laps, that's about as consistent and progressive as you could kind of ask for. Fastest lap there was obviously an 18.8, but as you can see, as we made each lap, we made progress lower and lower. And right out the gate, we were doing significantly better right out the gate on VR than we were with monitors. And also, just as those lap times got down into the point 0.2, 0.1, 19 flat, 18.8, just felt like you were getting into a good rhythm. And I think that's one of the big takeaways for me. The consistency of VR is definitely noticeable. And I think a lot of it, especially at a place like Long Beach, is just comfort. Feeling like I can drive really close to that wall and I'm not going to hit it, or I'm not going to hit it hard enough to ruin a race, ruin a lap, whatever that may be. So the difference between those two, on average, the average of the 5 laps, just a touch over 3/10. So I think that's pretty telling. It's kind of what I expected, to be honest. I think the consistency was the part that I was really expecting. I was pretty surprised that right out the gate on lap 3 on monitors, I put in an 18 lap time. I really wasn't expecting that, and I was actually surprised that I was relatively quick with the monitors as well. I didn't think I was going to be. I didn't think I was going to be able to really touch a lap that I was able to put in VR, and I think that's the thing that surprised me the most. So I don't think it's a slam dunk. I do think that this is one of those things, again, that's super subjective, and it's really going to be about you and your driving style. But the awareness that VR brings, the sense of speed that VR brings, even in a properly set up, field of view with triples like I have here, there's just no comparison to that one-to-one that you get in VR. It doesn't exist. So I think that really lends itself to consistency, and I think that shows up in the laps. So these are my findings. Again, I'm not really looking to convince anybody to do anything at all. I have both. I'll use both. I enjoy both. But it was something that was on my mind pretty much right out the gate. I was really curious from a VR point of view. Did I gain speed? Did I lose speed? Because at the end of the day, that's what I care most about. I enjoy the immersion. I enjoy the fidelity of triples. I'm using triple 1440p. It doesn't get but so much better than that from a fidelity point of view. But at the end of the day, I care about speed. I want a fun experience. I want to feel immersed in what I'm doing. This is obviously a hobby. We're not going out for like professional contracts or anything like that. But at the end of the day, I do care about speed. I run in private leagues. I do want to do well. I'm hyper competitive, so yeah, speed is important to me, and I was really interested to see. So for me, the outcome is not super surprising, but yeah, I'm curious to hear what you guys think. I'm curious if anybody watching this has gone and done something similar, maybe gone from monitors, gone to VR, maybe gone the other direction. Like what is it for you? I'd be really curious to hear feedback or thoughts on that. So again, not really trying to convince anybody of anything. Just wanted to share my thoughts, my findings. I hope you found it useful. And until next time, I'll catch you guys later.